You know, lately there's been a story in the market that feels different. Not just another headline, not just another rumor, something bigger. There are growing allegations involving people close to Paul Krugman and oil futures trading tied to political insiders around Donald Trump. And when Krugman heard about it, he didn't hold back. He called it treason. Now think about that for a second. Why would a Nobel Prize-winning economist use a word that strong? Today, I want to walk you through this, step by step, because this isn't just about markets. It's about power, it's about money, and it's about where those two collide. First, let's understand who Paul Krugman really is. He's not just an academic. He won the Nobel Prize in 2008. He taught at Princeton, and for years, he's been one of the most influential voices writing for the New York Times. But more importantly, Krugman doesn't just look at numbers. He looks at who controls the system behind those numbers. He sees economics as a story of power. Now, let's talk about the core of the controversy: oil futures trading. This isn't about buying physical oil. This is about betting on where oil prices are going next. And here's where things get uncomfortable. When tensions rise in the Middle East, when the risk of conflict increases, oil prices tend to go up. That's predictable. But imagine this. What if someone with close access to political decisions, to military developments, to sanctions or policy moves, takes a position in oil futures before the market reacts? Now we're not just talking about investing anymore. We're talking about something else entirely. There are three major concerns here. First, inside information. If someone knows what's coming before the public does, they're not competing in the market, they're exploiting it. Second, the conflict between policy and profit. Think about this carefully. If the same people influencing geopolitical tension can also profit from rising oil prices, then tension itself becomes profitable, and that's a dangerous structure. Third, national interest versus personal gain. When government decisions start aligning with private profit, the direction of those decisions can change, and that's where trust begins to break. Now let's go back to Krugman's words. This is treason. Why would he go that far? Because in his view, this isn't just about money. It's about turning global instability into personal profit. Middle East tensions don't just affect oil prices. They affect entire economies. They affect lives. And if someone is making money from that, then a national crisis becomes a private opportunity. There's another layer too. Oil is a global market. Money doesn't just stay in one place. If profits are generated, they flow across borders. And in some cases, that flow could indirectly benefit countries under sanctions. That's not just economic risk, that's geopolitical risk. And finally, there's the question of democracy itself. Power is supposed to serve the public. But if people close to that power are benefiting financially, then the system starts to crack. So what are we really looking at here? This isn't just a market story. This is where politics, energy, and finance collide. Oil is one of the most critical assets in the world. Futures trading amplifies risk and reward, and politics moves prices. When those three come together, this is no longer just investing. And maybe this is the most important question of all. We often think making money is a good thing, but where that money comes from matters. What situation created it? Who paid the price? Krugman's message is simple but powerful. Economics cannot be separated from ethics. When policy, conflict, and markets become intertwined, and certain players profit from that structure, he doesn't call it strategy, he calls it treason. Because right now, the market isn't just a place of opportunity. It's a place where power and money are colliding.